Hello.
Welcome to
Monday with the Mavens.
We are answering all your burning questions today.
Hot burning questions, any that you have. In fact, if you have any that you want us to answer, you can drop them in the comments below and we will do our best to get to them because we know you guys have lots of hot burning questions for us.
We took the ones that came in on IG and some that have been pending and we put them in a bowl and we are going to whip right through them. We're going to make this efficient today, you guys.
We know that you guys don't want to sit on here and listen to us yap for an hour. So we are going to blitz through this for when we are really hungry and we want to eat.
We want to eat. Okay, let's get started.
We'll
go back and forth. I think Haley said this, but please join in on the conversation. And if you're watching this after the fact, which the large majority of you guys do, always feel free to shoot us a DM and or put a question in the comments and we'll come back and answer it after the fact. So we love hearing from you guys. We are here for you.
Here for you. So again, if you guys have a question that you want us to answer, drop it like it's hot. Drop it in the box.
Drop it in the box.
Drop it in the comments and we will answer it for you guys.
Okay.
Ready, set, go. I'll ask you first, I guess.
Okay.
Oh, do you have any openings for new clients?
Yes, we do. Yes, I'll keep it short and sweet. Not all of our coaches all of the time can take on new clients because we really like to keep a certain capacity for each coach, just to make sure we're giving every single client more than adequate attention. However, we really work strategically to make sure that we always have at least a coach available to take on new clients. We absolutely want to meet you where you're at when you're ready. And actually, both Haley and I right now, for a short season, because the gap's closing, we both just graduated a good number of people, and we have a few openings remaining, each of us do.
Yep.
That said, all of our coaches are fantastic, so you will not go wrong regardless of who you have.
No, we only hire the best.
It's true.
Yeah.
Okay. How do I, and if you're interested, I guess I should put this, you can just go to macromavens.life, click the hop on board button. It does not commit you to anything, but it starts a conversation, you guys. It lets us answer questions, see if we're a good fit. We'll be honest if we don't think we are. It's not often we're not, but if you have some form
She was going to keep this real short.
Okay.
Sweet, remember?
Anyways, macromavens.life, hop on board. Let's have a conversation.
Yep, let's do it.
Okay. How do I stay motivated to track?
Oh, that's a great question. Well, you don't, because you don't stay motivated for anything. And that is where discipline comes in, you guys. It is discipline over motivation. Every day. There will be days when you are motivated and you're like, I'm going to do this, especially if it's new and exciting, then you will absolutely be motivated. But, it's just like anything. Do you stay motivated to go to the gym every single day, or do you have to power to go to the gym? Do you have to determine,
create
discipline
to allow you to be successful?
Totally. So you have to be disciplined. Discipline over motivation. There will be days when you don't want to track your food. I get it. There are days when I don't want to track my food. And you know what? I do it anyway because I have a goal and I have a plan to reach my goal. And tracking my food is one of the ways that I'm going to get to my goal. And so that's what I do.
And in order to create habits, sometimes it's really helpful to have a coach in your corner that will really walk you through the process of those habitual changes until it sticks.
Yep.
In any area of life, not just nutrition.
Amen. All right, moving on. Where can I get, well, here, we'll do that one. We'll do this one last because it makes more sense that way. I'm going to
I don't even know what most of these questions are. She put them in there. So
yeah. Well,
I saw some of them on Instagram.
I was going to say some of them got sent to, they all got sent to us at some point. Tips on ordering food at a restaurant while on a macro plan.
Oh, great question. So we do have an entire highlight called Menu with the Mavens, which if you haven't checked it out, it's over on IG for those of you that are on Facebook. We have two screens, Facebook and Instagram, that we go through and we look at menus, we show you what we order, and then we show you the macros. But the nitty gritty is, if it's a restaurant that has a menu online and you can take a couple minutes ahead of time, it can be really helpful to just pop online, look at what you might order, and then pre-track it so you can work the rest of your day around it. A few other things is when you're there, I want to enjoy myself, right? I don't want to feel deprived. So there's specific things I like at a lot of different places. But I try to keep it pretty straightforward so that it's not too difficult to track. So I'm not often ordering things with a lot of different sauces and a lot of different hidden ingredients. Like I love myself some really good grilled meat or fish or a big salad with meat on it and lots of veggies on the side. Sometimes I will save my carbs for other things. So it depends on what you like. If you're going to be ordering a drink, make sure you pre-track that too, and work around it. So if you know you're going out, the small and short of it is if you can look ahead and pre-track what you might get and work your day around it, it's going to make for so much more success. If you can't pre-track, stick with the basics and do your best guess.
Yep. Always track. Don't ever leave anything untracked.
Yeah.
You can guess. It's fine. And then make sure that you eat protein, you guys. When you go to a restaurant, look for protein. So you can almost always do a salad and then add protein to it. That's a
But
safe,
if you don't want a salad,
bet.
there's like, I get delicious
steak
food out to-
and
Grilled
fish and shrimp
fish
and
chicken and pork and
think protein first.
yeah, and then work around it. Why do I feel so bloated when I use protein supplements?
That is actually a great question. I love that question. So protein supplements are just that. They're supplements, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we should be getting all, if possible, most, if not all, of our protein from whole food sources, whether it be from plants or animal proteins, wherever you like to get your protein sources. Number one, you should be getting them from food as often as possible.
Yeah.
In a pinch, using a shake or protein powder is totally okay. It's something that I really try to stay away from, although I will cook with them. But let's get back to the question. You feel bloated because those proteins are not created the same as animal proteins, right? Our body doesn't necessarily, it's a processed food. If it comes in a container, it is processed.
Yeah.
And so the protein that they are putting in that powder, it's just much different than an actual whole food source. And so your body has to work harder to digest it. You need more water. It often will create gas in our stomachs. And it's just not a natural food source for us. And so is it better than not eating protein at all? Yes. Is there a better option? Yes. Are you likely to feel bloated if you eat that? Yes.
Especially if you are replacing a lot of meals. So
Yeah.
if you can, like Haley said, stick to whole food sources for your protein primarily, and then use things like bars and shakes in a pinch. Now, I do have some clients that love them. They love their morning shake. And if you love it, great. But don't then let that cascade into multiple shakes or a shake and then a bar, or because you're doing yourself a disservice, not to mention your body doesn't always assimilate all of the protein from things like bars and shakes as it would from whole food.
Yeah.
So you might be shorting yourself.
Yeah, and on that same note, our bodies were made to process whole foods and liquids differently.
Yeah.
And so when you are taking in your protein from a shake, let's say that you're drinking a shake that has 30 grams of protein in it in liquid form. Well, your body processes liquids much faster than it processes whole foods. And so the liquid only stays in your digestive tract for a short amount of time. It's like an hour and a half, which is not enough time for your body to fully absorb all 30 grams of that protein. In an hour and a half, a rough estimate is that your body is probably absorbing between 10 and 15 grams of protein. So if you think you're getting 30 grams of protein in that morning shake, you're probably more likely getting only half of that unless you're coupling it with some whole food. And that would be my suggestion. If you do want to have that shake in the morning, make sure you're eating or drinking it with some whole food sources too, to slow down the digestion of that liquid so that it stays in your body a little bit longer so you have more opportunity to absorb it.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
We're moving right along.
Yeah, you guys, we're going to be done in lickety-split.
If you've just joined us, please feel free to add any questions that you guys have down in the comment box, and we're keeping our eyes open for them. Once again, if it's after the fact, which is the majority of you guys when you watch this, just shoot us a DM or put the comment down below and we'll come back to it.
Yep. Does everyone need a lot of protein?
Ooh, great question. Yes and no. Everybody has a little bit different protein threshold. And so we do talk about protein a lot. We say protein is queen because the majority of Americans, not everybody, undereat their protein. And protein is so important for muscle preservation, for longevity. We could go on and on. We've done an entire live on protein, not to mention it's the most thermogenic of the macronutrients, which means that your body burns more calories to break it down. So it depends on a person's goals and it depends on their threshold. Some people cannot handle as much protein. If a person is looking to shed fat while preserving and or building muscle, the majority of the time in the stage of what we're doing in a reverse and a cut, we're going to want to try to get them around somewhere of 1 gram per pound of ideal body weight. Now, I don't know if I said gram or pound, 1 gram per pound of ideal body weight. Now, that's not true for everybody. So it really depends, and that's where the customization comes in terms of how is your digestion, how are you sleeping, how are you feeling, how's your bloat factor. All of those things come into consideration when we're looking at how we're placing your protein and where we're setting your percentages week over week, and we modify those as we go.
Yep. Okay. Eat protein. It's good for you.
how do I get fiber in during a cut?
That's a great question. We say this a lot. Oh no, you're getting a phone call, but you're not supposed to get phone calls.
Sorry.
Yeah. Hopefully Instagram. Sorry, Facebook. Instagram is.
I think we're back.
Hopefully you can
I
hear us.
have my phone on Do Not Disturb, so sorry about that, guys.
I think it just means that the notifications aren't coming in, but hopefully you guys can still hear us. Sometimes we have problems when that happens that we lose audio on IG.
So if you're on IG and you can still hear us, if you could let us know, that would be amazing. Thank you.
Yeah. Anyway, let's answer the question. So getting enough fiber when you are on a cut, getting enough fiber, period, whether you're on a cut or a reverse, is really, really important. And so one of the things that you can do is think about foods that are high fiber, low carb. And those two kind of go hand in hand, right? If you're getting fiber, you're getting carbs. And so you have to ask yourself, is it worth it? I eat raspberries and blueberries every single day. Raspberries are a great, great source of fiber for low carb. Also, if you are in a cut, make sure that when you are in a cut, for one, that you're not going to live in that cut for a long time, because it's really hard to sustain low calories for a long time. So,
and if you're working with us, we're not going to keep you in a deficit for very long.
Right. And so some of the things that you might consider are, for one, make a list of the foods that you do enjoy that are higher in fiber. Artichoke hearts of palm, chia seeds, pumpkin seeds, avocados. If you have enough fats, avocados are actually pretty high in fiber. Asparagus, spinach. Lentils, if you can handle beans, if those don't give you too much gastrointestinal upset. Things like that will get you higher in fiber, but you might have a hard time getting there if your carbs are low. So we tell our clients to shoot for 20 to 25 grams of fiber for females. Typically, not everybody needs that much fiber. It is very independent. But I take a fiber supplement every single day, whether I am in a cut or if I'm at the top of my reverse. I like psyllium husk, but there are a million different kinds of fibers out there. You can get acacia fiber. You can get, I don't even need to list
We
them.
have a fiber recommendation on our website. It's a thorn fiber that a lot of our clients really enjoy.
Yeah.
I used to take a fiber supplement, and then I've just been able to shift my food enough that I'm getting adequate fiber from my food, which is ideal. Once again, a supplement is just for that, to supplement what you can't get. But also know when you're in a deficit, you probably won't get quite as much fiber, but as long as you are getting the same equivalency for like percentage from higher calories, and we can work with our clients on that specifically.
Yeah.
We also, on the toolbox of our website, if you go to macromavens.life and you click toolbox, we have a ton of free resources. One of them is an entire overview on fiber.
Yep.
And we'll maybe put it in the stories after this.
Yeah. So fiber is super important, and sometimes you need a supplement, and that's okay. Oh.
I just hijacked the end of that last one.
Weird. Oh, best sources of fiber. You can see the question. You can just back us up.
Back us up.
Well,
Back it up, baby. Back it up.
But artichoke hearts of palm, pumpkin seeds, raspberries, asparagus, spinach, squash is a great source of fiber. What have I not said?
In my opinion, the best
avocados,
sources of fiber are vegetables and whole fruits.
which is basically what I'm naming.
Yeah.
Although the sweeter the vegetable, the higher the carbohydrate intake is. So like carrots are high in carbs, not actually super high in fiber. Celery is actually pretty high in fiber, and you get a lot of bang for your buck.
And the only reason we're not anti-carb. Carbs are actually quite important. It's when you're lower calories and maybe lower carbs in a deficit for a season, you're wanting to look for higher volume, lower calorie, lower carb foods so that they stretch you further and your satiation is higher.
And we also want to take this time, since we're talking about carbs and fiber, is we count total carbohydrates.
Yeah.
So the whole net carbs versus total carbs, like for us, a carb is a carb regardless of the fiber content, because
Net carbs can be wonky. I think a lot of it is a marketing scheme.
Yeah. Anyway, we won't get into that. That's a whole different pitch. Oh, it's your turn.
No.
Yeah.
Well, you just asked me about fiber and then answer. It doesn't matter. I'll ask you again.
How do we determine if someone needs more carbs or fat? I'll ask you.
Oh, guys, I love this one. Okay, so that's a great question. All of these are great questions. It really depends. It depends on where you're at. It depends on your total calorie count. It depends on your activity level. It depends on your energy stores. It depends on if hormone regulation is a concern of yours. And so we take all of those things into account. So for instance, so that we can talk about some tangible examples, if I have, we obviously work with men and women, it's going to be a little bit different. So I'm just going to use a female as an example. If I have a female client that's a little bit more sedentary and they're really trying to work on hormone harmony versus hormone hurricane, so we're trying to naturally stabilize their hormones along the way with the consistency of fueling their body and their brain, I'm probably going to probably give them a bit more fat. I'm going to make sure I have their protein where I want it and their total calories where I want it for where we're at in their process, their reverse of their cut. And then I'm going to look at probably giving them a bit more fat for hormone support and a little less carbs, still not restricting carbs significantly, but that's probably, depending on some other factors, depending on the health of their thyroid and a number of things, that's probably where I'm going to have them. Now, if I have a client that is extremely active and feels fairly well balanced from a hormonal standpoint, I might keep their fat more at like 30% depending on grams and depending on their calorie count, and give them a bit more carbs. I'm not going to drop their fat too much because you need that, especially females, for hormone support. But I'm going to maybe have their carb count a bit higher because of their expenditure output. So those are some of the factors and some of the tangible examples.
Yep. Totally.
Totes.
Good answer. It all depends on your lifestyle. Everybody's different, and so we give everybody different assignments.
We already answered this. Lower carbs, high fiber.
Well,
Lots of questions on carbs and fiber.
I think I just accidentally put that one back in the bowl.
Oh, this is fun. How to stay fueled and hydrated when sick, and when I don't want to eat or drink.
Yeah. So being sick, you guys. Being sick.
Wah, wah.
Being sick sucks.
Don't. Yeah.
Yeah. It is no fun to be sick, and especially to not want to eat or drink anything. So let's talk a little bit about when your body is fighting something and you lose your appetite. Oftentimes what is happening is our body is redistributing our energy, right? And so it's taking energy from our digestive system, what our body would be doing if we were eating food. It would be putting energy into digesting that food, and it is taking that energy and it is redistributing it to our immune system to help build our immune system, to help create those fighter T cells that are going to go throughout our body and help fight this illness, whatever it is. And so, yeah, not being hungry is totally natural. You want that. It's part of your body's defense mechanism on healing itself. And so oftentimes what happens though when we do get sick is we get dehydrated because we don't want to drink water. Now, I am 100% all for, if you are not hungry when you're sick, don't force yourself to eat.
And if you're one of our clients, please just communicate with your coach.
Totally. So you don't need to force yourself to eat. If you can eat and you feel better when you do eat, then by all means, please do. There are also lots of things that you can do to help yourself get hydrated and get some protein. So bone broth, heating up some bone broth, adding a little bit of garlic salt or some spices to it to make it more palatable for you if you don't like the way it tastes. That's a great thing to do. It'll give you, I think 1 cup of bone broth has 9 grams of protein. So it'll give you some protein to help give you some energy. It'll also help to hydrate you. So that's one thing that you can do. But really, hydration is the key when you're sick. Even if you don't want to drink water or an electrolyte or something like that, that is really kind of where you have to push beyond how you're feeling, especially if you are vomiting and throwing up. Your body really needs to be hydrated. And so try to drink as much water as you can, or an electrolyte or something like that to help power you through the sickness. But if you're really not hungry and you have zero appetite, don't force yourself to eat. Allow your body to heal. Give yourself rest. Resting is okay, you guys.
It is, and it's critical for
crucial.
recovery.
Yes, you need to rest. You need to hydrate. Those are the 2 things when you're sick that I would say. If you feel like you need to go to sleep, go to sleep. Yeah. So rest and hydration, right? Oftentimes, and I can say this because I'm this kind of person, I will oftentimes force myself to go to the gym and keep doing things even when I probably shouldn't. I'm less like that now than I used to be, but I'm also much healthier now. I don't get sick as often. And so if I were sick, if I woke up in the morning not feeling well, I would skip the gym. I would allow my body to rest, and I would try to drink as much water as I possibly can while also supplementing with vitamin C, vitamin D. Make sure you get outside so you can get some natural vitamin D. But zinc, those are things that I would do if I were feeling sick.
And on our website, on the toolbox, under free resources, We do have a whole supplement overview, and it has an immune support section to it that lists everything that we suggest there. And then also, I just want to piggyback on that because so many people, I know when I was a kid and we didn't know better, like you're sick and you have like saltines and 7-Up.
Yeah.
And you guys, that is creating an inflammatory response in your body that is not going to allow you to heal at a very rapid rate. And so if you can find palatable alternatives that you enjoy just as much, for me, that's going to be something like, I love myself a watermelon electrolyte. I use Element. It's salty, but I like it. And then something like almond flour crackers. Like, you're still going to get some protein and some fat. It's less inflammatory, and you still get the crunch and the salt. And so you can find things like bone broth, like almond flour crackers, like an electrolyte, that are going to actually help you heal faster and not keep you in as an inflammatory state. And then also, this is not one we have on our resources, but if you're one of our clients, we have a full feeling sick overview that gives you a lot of tips along the way. And if you're not feeling well, just please let your coach know, because we have a ton of tools that can help you along the way.
Yep. And last but not least, our last question: where can I get more info about Macro Mavens?
I love that.
That's a great question.
That's right up for a close.
That's why
you were saving it.
I opened it. I was like, oh, we got to save that one for last.
Well, we have a lot of resources. I think
So
the
many.
best thing to do is just go to our website, macromavens.life. And we have a ton of free resources. We have a complete program overview on our Q&A page. We have everything down to Macros 101, as well as like our pricing. We put it all out there. Also, if you just want to have a conversation, you can send us a DM at any time. Or a message, and you can also fill out a hop on board on our website, macromavens.life. It doesn't commit you to anything, but it lets us do a free consult and see if we're a good fit, answer your questions. We also, on Instagram and Facebook, we have a plethora of free education, and so you can go through and find what you're interested in. And then our YouTube channel is easy to search, and we have not only educational videos that we do just for that, but we also house all of our lives there, and a number of things. So we have a lot of resources, you guys. We do this because we really, really want people to live their best life. We want you to thrive. We want you to just be like this vibrant self and feel good. And so, of course, first and foremost, we are working on nutrition. Foundationally, we think it is huge, but we also have our pillars of wellness that we talk about all the time: deep and restorative sleep, stress resiliency, non-inflammatory lifestyle, fiber, water, movement. It's the basics, but if you can make them habits, it will change your life.
Absolutely. So go to macromavens.life, click the hop on board button. A coach will reach out to you. No commitment necessary. We would love to work with you. We are taking new clients right now. And you guys, it's just the Macro Mavens community is actually
It's
the
amazing.
best.
Amazing. We're
Good
so lucky.
people.
We pinch ourselves.
Yeah, every day. Have a great
Have
week.
a wonderful
and
time. Bye, guys.
bye.